We've got a super play for you. You know that Oscar Wilde's one of my favourite writers. Quite brilliant man. Absolutely brilliant. So clever that he won everything ahead of him. He got a first in the University of Dublin, came over to Oxford, got a double first in Oxford in classics. Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. So a clever man. And I love this, so flamboyant with it. Isn't it marvellous when you've got the nerve and the courage and confidence in yourself to be like me, flamboyant? Well, all right then. And I like the picture of him being at Oxford. Well, he would get away as a student. He would get away with a lot of, you know, sort of unique way of dressing and speaking and that sort of thing. He went down to London, and there he's mixing with the upper class and the middle class, and I don't quite know what they were making. Can you imagine it? Right, you know, rather straight-laced, and everything's got to be absolutely spot on and beautiful. And in walks Oscar with his velvet jacket, his black silk stockings, his knee breeches, and a flowing tie. But he soon won them over, because he was so brilliant. But he didn't start writing plays. He started by writing poetry. Did you know that? Well, I'll just throw it in. Mind you, get a tray or something there. They can drop a few coins in on the way out. Education costs something. Don't you realise that? Have you got any kids? Anyway, he started by writing poetry, and it was so brilliant that he was booked for a tour of America, and he went down like a bomb. The Americans loved him. He came back over here, and people were a little bit wary still of him. He then moved gradually into prose, and he wrote short stories. And this play that you're going to see tonight, his first book of stories was called Lord Arthur Savile's Crime and Other Stories. Then he turned to plays a bit later, and well, you know how much we all love those. Well, I certainly do. I think I've done 3 of them already, and we shall be probably completing the lot before I retire. Yeah, that would be then. This story eventually was turned into a play by a lady called Constance Cox, who must have had a great feeling for turning a story into a play, because she adapted many stories by all sorts of different people, quite successfully. The only thing that's wrong is somebody imagined that it was going to be as funny as all his plays usually are. And that's not quite right. I'm sorry if you come to have a good laugh. Just get your hankies ready, because it's the other way altogether. I'm sorry about that. It's quite serious. You don't believe me? Well, it is. Because he took the idea, I'm sure, from a classical story, and this is true. In ancient Greece, life was pretty hard. Men, you only got 2 choices of occupation. You were either a farmer, or growing crops or food to feed your family, and the rest of the village probably, or you were a soldier to defend your village. It was pretty bleak. Always people attacking you. So, have you ever noticed that when things are a bit down, things aren't going right, it's awfully nice to be able to feel that somebody's looking after you a bit. Whether it's mum and dad, or whether it's somebody a bit higher up. And the Greeks were exactly the same. They felt the necessity for not a god, but numerous gods. The god of war, god of sun, god of rain, all the gods who they needed to be able to exist, to have a bit of help in quite a hard life. And to please the gods, they had 2 festivals a year. I don't charge for this, I must be stupid. 2 festivals a year. One is spring, when you pray to all the gods to give you a good harvest and look after you in war. And then in the autumn, you prayed again to say, thank you ever so much. I'm still here. Well, you'd have to be if you were praying, wouldn't you? I'm still here. Thank you so very much. And these 2 big festivals, which went went on for some time in Greece and developed, but I won't bore you with all that, to thank the gods tremendously. All of a sudden, somebody in one village had this very bright idea that there should be a sacrifice to the gods. That seemed reasonable enough, a little tip, you know, for doing so well. The only trouble was, somebody, who obviously was childless, decided that the sacrifice should be a human being, not the oldest, ugliest person or whatever in the village, but a young, beautiful creature. Boy or girl, didn't matter. And the thing which amazes me, my loves, is that the family of that person who has been selected has got to feel proud. It's true. Every word's true. Sooner or later, somebody thought, this is a bit off. We ought to stop doing this. But wait a minute, we might offend the gods. So what's the next best thing that we can do? We don't put them off. You know, if they get a bit angry with us, they won't look after us. We'll have a sacrifice. Make it a lamb. Have you heard of sacrificial lamb? Bring a lamb to slaughter. Yeah? Don't you? You have. Of course you have. Well, that was what they did then. They sacrificed a lamb. And I think that Oscar, when he was studying the classics and he came across this, it must have so impressed him that he decided to use this idea of the selection of a sacrifice in this short story and then in this adapted play. So don't worry too much. I mean, now and again, there'll be a chance to have a little laugh. What I suggest is you make the most of it. You're going to enjoy yourselves, I know you are, and it's super duper to see you. Keep thinking I'm going to retire, and then I think I'd miss all your lovely faces. So God bless you, keep coming, come again in June, but for tonight, Chats with Players present, for the last time in this run, Lord Arthur Savile's Crime.